everyone. I get a lot of questions about my homemade CNC router, so I figured I'd make a little video about it. First, as you can see, I took off the gantry here to do some vacuum lamps, so let's first put that back on. First up, I thought I'd show you to the brains of the operation, which is right here, and that is this Arduino here. So this is what actually takes the G-code that my CAD program generates, and then that transfers it basically to tell these stepper motor drivers here how many steps to move the motors, and that gets sent. Here's the power supply, so this takes our AC power and turns it into the DC power the motors require, and then all the commands get sent through the wires up to the motors up there. So that's the basic idea. Pretty simple actually. And so basically what you do is you hook everything up and you first calibrate it. So you basically move the motors a certain number of steps, and then you tell it basically, that tells it basically how many steps equals how many millimeters. And then it basically knows, okay, to move this many millimeters, you need to move this many steps. And then it can transfer our computer file into actual cutting motions. So that's how it's done. Here's what does the actual cutting here. This is just a normal Bosch router that you might use for wood or something like that. It's just put in this little mount that I got on, I don't know, AliExpress probably. And then you can see here a little bit that does the actual cutting. The foam I can use a pretty thin bit. But yeah, and then here's the motors for this one. The motor moves the router along some linear rails with a screw. And then for our x-axis, we actually just move along with a belt, which is good enough for cutting foam. Basically it's similar to what you do with a 3D printer, but instead of adding layers of filaments, we're just cutting with this router here. So if you want to know more about how CNC routers work, I can really recommend a series of YouTube videos by this old Tony. He really goes into it in depth. Maybe I'll do a more in-depth video on my YouTube if you're all interested. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this for now.